Hello and good evening. How are you? Hi, Carla. Hey, I just realized something. I did not check to make sure my microphone was set up. Oh, looks like it is. Can you hear me okay? I hope so. I hope so. How's everyone doing? How you doing, Carla? Carlita. So I have a couple things. I have so many thoughts. I should have written them down because I'll forget everything I wanted to say about the whole Massachusetts versus Karen Reed situation. Um, but I want to say I've been fangirling Alan Jackson, and Yannetti is great too, as well as Eliza. I believe it's Elizabeth, and they call her Liza, if I'm not mistaken. Little, the female attorney. So the three defense attorneys that are representing Karen Reed. So if you're with me and you've been fangirling, I'm always looking forward to seeing a good argument, not a one sided freak show, which a lot of trials are. And I just was really looking forward to this trial because of the talent that we were going to see. So, what did you all think? What did you think, Carla, about Alan Jackson's performance? He's amazing, and because of being introduced to him through the Karen Reed trial, I um, I started looking into some of the other trials he's done in the past, and he most recently represented Kevin Spacey in England, I believe, and maybe it was in the United States. I did not follow that at all, and I believe they were successful. I'm not sure, honestly. And he also was a prosecutor for the DA's office. I think he was an assistant DA, if I'm not mistaken, an ADA here in Los Angeles. So, in that quest, I looked him up on his website and just tried to see what kind of trials he'd done in the past. And he prosecuted a very famous person. And I did not pay attention to trials back then. I really didn't care about the case. I didn't care about any of these things back then. But I went back and I looked up his opening, the trial actually, and I was just intrigued by his opening statements in this other trial. I'm not going to say who it is because I want you all to guess. But before we get to any of that, I do want to give some thoughts about Karen Reed and talk about that. Hopefully, we'll have some more people joining us. I forgot my lemonade back there, so I'm going to grab it. But before I do that, I just wanted to talk really briefly about something that came up a couple of months ago when Miss Wendi Adelson, I believe, listed her apartment for rent in Miami. There's been some chit chat about her moving to Austin and all that jazz. I really don't care that much about it, but I noticed that Judy from AA Legal Focus had posted some photos from the real estate listing from Wendy's apartment, and I think it was a slideshow. She posted the link, and I was kind of interested, just kind of as a character study. Um, I'm not here to bash Wendy at all. So if that's what you're here for, probably you want to move on. I just thought it was really interesting to see her style because we've gotten to know her. We've gotten to know so many of these witnesses in the Dan Markel trial and getting justice for Dan Markel. We've gotten to know, Catherine McBanawa. We've gotten to know a little bit about one of Catherine's friends who's I'm following on Twitter, and she goes by Yin, and just a cute little beautiful lady. And we've gotten to know a little about Luis Rivera. And when I say getting to know these people, we're just getting to know them through their testimonies and their statements and their police interviews. So yeah, so I want to talk to you about my thoughts because I'm a trained artist and a background in design, and I'm just always interested in how people decorate and what their choices are. And that's what caught my eye about this slideshow. So let me put Carla's comment up first. Did she really? I didn't know. What are you asking? I'm not sure what you're asking. And as far as Alan Jackson's closing, it's exactly what I thought it would be: concise, logical, and to the point. And he really, didn't you think he just really told a story? And I wouldn't have known what to expect had I not looked at the previous opening statement. That's about all as far as I got with researching him, and I'll share that with you. It's kind of a long opening statement. So for those of you who are joining live or replaying, you can always pause and come back to it, but it's a good story. I wasn't, I had no expectations at all. I didn't know what to think. And when I started watching and listening to his opening statement on this other trial, I was just captivated. It was like somebody was reading to me a fantastic story. Not a good story, unfortunately, because he was prosecuting a murderer and he was successful. So with that, okay, so you did not know about Wendy's apartment being for rent. Okay, so this will be very new to you. Okay, great. And I personally don't like to pry too much into people's private life. So this is not what this is about. This is more just about, because it's out there and I'm not the one putting it out there. It's public record and all that. So I'm just sharing this from an artist's perspective. So let me go ahead and find that file for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Where did I put it? I was just on helping someone else learn how to use this, and now I forgot what I was doing. So here we go. This is from the real estate file, the apartment that's going for rent, where Wendy was living with her 2 boys, and probably still is. I guess she's moving, so this is the opening photo, and I just took the whole slideshow. So this is her front door, a very happy little yellow. And so this is her entryway, and I just noticed she has a Jewish star, kind of an ornament. And here's a couple things I noticed. So no mezuzah, and I'm not saying that's not okay. Okay, the no mezuzah, that's not what the not okay is about. The not okay is about the way her basket in her lamp are pushed all the way back to the wall and not centered. I just thought it was odd because a realtor who's staging or taking photos would normally not do that. They would have things centered and more properly appointed, as well as the ornaments that she has on display, the knickknacks or whatever these things are. On the shelf, they're all the way to the edge, almost as if they're going to fall off. So it's just a really odd placement. That's all I'm going to say about that. I just thought it was interesting, and I couldn't help but notice it because I'm a designer. Pretty little basket, a rope basket, colorful. So yeah, so as far as the placement, it's very much non-feng shui, as you might say. Gives me a weird feeling when things aren't arranged properly. This is her back patio with dark brown furniture. And this is her living room. You can see the dark brown furniture, which kind of goes with the dark brown leather couch out in the living room. I just wouldn't expect those dark colors. Maybe she got the colors so they're a little more masculine for the boys. Not sure. What we're going to notice also in her decorating is she has a lot of maps everywhere. In fact, you might have noticed. Oh no, you can't see it. We'll come back to it. There's another one close. There's a globe, but it's you can't see it from that photo. So what we're pointing out here is the map and this piece of art up here, which is an original painting as far as I can tell. So multiple world maps, which I think is interesting. And I want to talk to you about this because if you recall back in the day, in one of her testimonies, she mentioned about someday moving away and changing all their names, meaning her and the 2 boys, because she was being asked about changing the boys' names from Markel to Adelson. And all these maps, which we're going to see more of, and globes, make me think that she and the boys are looking at places, looking at the world as their oyster, that they might move away someday. So we're going to talk about this painting. I thought it was weird that she doesn't have any area rugs at all. And I thought the dark brown leather was a little strange for a beach property, but maybe it was, just to have the boys feel more masculine and I don't know, not sure. You can see this painting, which is a fairly large painting, from almost every place in all of the living areas except for the bedrooms. So the kitchen, the dining room, which is over on your right, and then as we could see previously from the living room. It's a very prominently placed painting. Exactly. So, and not just herself, but the kids. And maybe they want to leave because, it's not great for them here now for whatever reason. Whoops. And what I wanted to say is, despite the very sparse ish basic furnishings, nothing really that stands out as super elegant or uh, stylish, let's just say. I'm not sure. I don't want to put any words in that aren't less than or more than what I want to say here, but just, not super stylish, not super elegant. Um, in spite of that, in spite of the sparse furnishings, the IKEA looking bookshelf back there, she has a fair amount of art. I mean, a very good amount of art. And that's what caught my attention because I respect people who love art. So we're going to talk about her art a little bit. We're going to talk about what I call the Charlie painting, which is that large painting, and we'll find out why. And it can be viewed, like I said, from all the living areas. So it's obviously an important painting to her, as it should be. And we'll talk about why. I'm wondering, when you saw that painting, do you see anything in that painting that looks familiar? This is a close-up. You lose some resolution. But this is the painting close up. The part that I have circled is the artist's name. It's a signed Purvis Young, most likely. I say possibly because one never knows for sure, but it looked to me personally that this was a Purvis Young. Purvis Young is a significant, notable artist who recently passed away. He's a museum quality artist. So this is a significant painting. So good for her. But what does it remind you of? Okay. That's what it reminded me of. Am I the only one? I mean, it was so obvious to me, maybe because I look at art a lot. I mean, when I saw this painting, I just about fell over. I couldn't believe it. So I did a rendition for us. And there you have it. It even has my signature. Okay, so am I the only one who saw this? I mean, I guess I am. I guess I am. But again, I am saying no shade. I love that she has a lot of art. I wonder when this was purchased, but to me, there it is. Should I have it framed? I don't think I'll be hanging this one. All right, now we're in Wendy's bedrooms now. We're not, we're just getting to the bedrooms now, Charlie. It did remind you of Charlie. Oh, hi, Katie girl. It did remind you. Thank you. I was like, am I the only one seeing that? This has been up for like 2 months that people have been chatting about her apartment and whatnot. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. The other thing I noticed in her, let me make sure you guys still can see this because I just clicked something funny. Okay, good. The other thing I noticed in her bedroom is she has a keyboard. I did not know Wendy played the piano. That's great. She also has these weird things on the walls. These might just be something that are in the apartment, smoke alarms or something along those lines. This is her bedroom, pretty basic. There's a printer, a little laptop, very basic, very kind of dorm style. Nothing fancy about the window treatments. But I did notice that she has a keyboard. So she likes art, she likes music. That is commendable in my opinion. There was one person who said that this Miro up here was an original. It is absolutely not an original. There is no way on God's green earth Wendi has an original Moreau. That's just a print, and it's beautiful. It's great. It's a great print. She has a certain style. She likes Egyptian, Cubism, and she likes African art and South American art. So you can tell a little about her style or her taste in that. And I like this print, this Moreau. I love Moreau. I went to a Moreau exhibit in Spain once. It was just phenomenal. Whoops. So again, this is what I noticed, the thing on the wall, whatever it is, and that she plays the keyboards. Did anyone know that? I didn't know that. I think it's great. The laptop she doesn't use. Probably. Georgia, go grab that while she knows where it is. Now, this is another picture of her bedroom. I'm not sure why there were two. They must have had her purchase a different bedspread comforter because this was the original one. So for someone who likes art and music, she just has very strange taste in decor. But look at her art collection, and whether they're prints or originals, that's not to matter. No shade on anyone. Not everybody can afford original art. So she has another world map here, prominently a large world map in her boudoir. And here you can see some cubism over here. So it does look like that might have been a different, she might have put the little Moreau print on because it was less busy or something like that. It might have been a little bit of staging that the realtor did, or she did. So another world map, very kind of what I would call tacky bedroom bedding and kind of dorm room furniture. I mean, this little, let's see if that's the same bed. Yeah, little drawer underneath. This is what you would expect in a college dorm room. So, I think it's kind of neat when people place, would rather buy good art or have a lot of art and rather than great furniture if you have to choose. No shade. I mean, no shade by this. I'm just great that she likes art and she has a very specific leaning in her taste toward in art. So I think that's cool. But yeah, that's her bedroom. Her former bedroom, probably. This is the boys' room. So there's obviously one boys' bedroom. And you can see a little bit of Texas, those Longhorns over there on the wall. I imagine that has something to do with them going to Austin. So maybe they've been visiting or something along those lines. But other than that, there's not much Texas in this home. Lots of trophies. Now, she said, I could have sworn, now you guys can help me with my memory, but I thought she said there was a picture of Dan Abba in the boys' bedroom that they said goodnight to every night. I don't see a picture of Dan here, but we do have pictures of Dan, believe it or not, in other rooms, in the dining room. Boys' bathroom also has a map on the shower curtain. So again, she's instilling a love for travel, perhaps, in the boys. Okay, so you remember that too. I thought it was supposed to be in their bedroom. Okay, and Carla says, to me, it looks like she lives like at any moment she could go away unless to clean up. Very possible. Very possible. And maybe she's already getting ready to move. I think these were older photos. I'm not sure. So again, we're going to talk about these maps. You do recall the testimony. When I saw the maps, that testimony immediately came to mind. This is another view of the living room if you're coming out of the dining room, and you can see the globe up here on the shelf. So we've got a world map, we've got a globe, we've got another world map. This yellow thing up here, which may or may not be part of the apartment, but it's kind of strange. But again, a lot of art. And, I love that she just sticks art wherever she has a space. I really respect people's appreciation of art. So I'm just curious what that yellow thing is. Really curious. And this is the dining room. So this is the little humble dining room with her little recently purchased orchids still in the plastic, um, probably for staging. And you can see the picture of Dan and the boys up here on the right, and little boys alone on the left of the shelf. I like these plates. I do love those. I think she has. I've never criticized people's taste in art, but again, here's a somewhat cubist. That could be a painting of a female portrait, and it could be South American, it could be African. I cannot tell what this is up here, but it's intriguing, and I think I like it. I definitely like these plates a lot. I tried to zoom in to see more about them, but it looks like Chinese uh, people who work in the rice paddies with the little white hats and the white outfits. I like these plates a lot. Hi, true crime wifey. Okay, so Carla says, according to her, it's hanging above their bed and they can all say goodnight to him every night. Yeah, so maybe they moved it. Not sure what happened there. Not sure what happened, but at least it's somewhere. There's a picture of Dan, and we're familiar with this photo. It's been circulating all over social media for years. And in case you didn't see it, I zoomed in a little bit. Again, I'm really intrigued with this art over here. I don't know what it is. It's just every time I zoom in and it's too difficult to see. And I love these three plates. They're beautiful. Not sure what, I couldn't find reverse image them at all. There's another yellow thing up here. And this one you can see a little black dot on it. So maybe it's a smoke alarm. You can see a little bit different art here, a line drawing, linear, curvilinear, which I think is neat. I think it's very nice. I like that kind of art. True Crime Wifey says the clock hanging in the boys' bedroom says Friday, 10:53 a.m., which is basically the time Dan was shot, according to the bus cameras. Yes, Dan. I need to go back and see that. Whoops. I don't see a clock. Did you say in the boys' bedroom? Clock hanging in the boys' bedroom. Do you see that here, or is this a different photo you're talking about? That's interesting. That would be the day their life completely changed, right? It's the date, the time and date, the time his life stopped. Horrible. Just horrible to think of that. All right. Now from the kitchen, also you can see this photo of Dan and the boys. So I like that it's out here. You can see it from multiple angles. And that's it. That is it. I just had to comment, I'm sorry, on this painting, the Purvis Young, which is, I don't know where she got her hands on that, but that would have been that is a very valuable painting. Right under the circle I inserted. Okay, let me go back. Is that a clock? Is that a digital clock? Wow, that would be weird if that's the case. Okay. All right. You're not distracting anything. No, it's just a very short slideshow. No worries at all. No worries at all. I put this together like 2 months ago. I just haven't had a chance to share it. And hey, Mona is texting me. Oh, she's in LA. All right. Yes. Okay. So it's a digital clock. That's interesting. What a strange coincidence. Hey. Very strange. Okay. So Anything else on this slideshow before I move on to our next topic? I'll tell her hi from you guys. She had an event in LA. Maybe she'll be on it when she gets home. All right, so let me remove this. And come back. She's renting it out for $5,000 a month, which is kind of the going rent for that area. It's close to the water. She doesn't have an ocean view though in any of her rooms, from what I can see. Just it looks like they have a pool view in the complex. So, okay. All right.